Welcome back, class 9 to the chemistry classes. Today we are going to start chapter 3, that is water. Up to chapter 2 you have already completed your question answers also. Hope so you have done in your copy. If not, then you write it in your copy. Today the third chapter, that is chemistry, water. You have heard about it, you have seen, you are drinking also. Water is one of the most important element, and water is regarded as one of the first 5 elements which constitute the whole universe. And water is one of the most abundant and natural resource. Our body also contains 70% water. It is tasteless, colorless, odorless, and 70% of the earth's surface is covered with water. So that's why our earth is a unique planet, because it contains plenty of water to support the living things. Now next is occurrence of water. Water is present on the earth almost everywhere. It is found in the free state as well as in the combined state. In the free state, water is present in the form of water elements, and it can be in the form of combined state, like all the 3 states of water. Water can be found in all the 3 states, physical state. What are they? Like in the form of solid water, like ice, in the form of liquid, the water which we drink, and in the form of gases also, like water vapor, the one which is present in the atmosphere, that helps to bring about rain. Now, in the air, already I said that as solid also, it is also important constituent of plant and animal matter. Like the food which we eat has 60 to 70% of water. 70% of our body weight is water. In combined state, water is present in many salts as water of crystallization, like copper sulfate pentahydrate. If you see this salt, CuSO4, copper sulfate, penta means 5 molecules of water. So it is called copper sulfate pentahydrate. It means 5 molecules of water is present in this hydrated salt. Similarly, magnesium chloride hexahydrate, zinc sulfate heptahydrate means 7 molecules of water. Water occurs in nature is called natural water. It is found in different forms. Like in nature you can get the water in the form of ice and snow, which covers the mountains as well as the polar regions. Water is also present in nature in the form of rain, in the form of lake water, pond water, river water, ocean water. That is called surface water. So rainwater, it is the purest form of water. Surface water in the form of rivers, lakes, ponds and sea. And some part of the water which is below our soil or below the earth, which remains trapped in between the soil particles, between the impervious layers of rocks, it is called underground water. So next we have to study composition of water. You know that water is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen. 1 molecule of water contains 2 hydrogen atoms, that is H2, and O, that is 1 atom of oxygen. So this is 1 molecule of water. Okay, so 1 molecule of water contains 2 atoms of hydrogen, 2 atoms of hydrogen, and 1 atom of oxygen. 1 atom of oxygen is present. Okay, so if you take water from anywhere, either from India or any other part, the same molecular composition will be found. Okay, so the volume of water in 1781, a scientist named Henry Cavendish, he had shown that by burning or igniting a mixture of 2 volumes of hydrogen with 1 volume of oxygen, we can get water molecule. In 1783, Antoine Lavoisier, who is also known as the father of chemistry, he confirmed that water is not an element. Of course, we know that water is not an element, it is a compound, because it is made up of 2 different elements, hydrogen and oxygen. He said that water is made by combination of hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio of 1:8. How it is possible? By mass. Like let's check what is the weight of hydrogen. Weight of hydrogen is taken as 1 AMU, and the weight of oxygen, that is its atomic mass, is taken as 8. So 1:8 is the ratio of water molecule. Now water has the formula H2O, and it confirms that water is a chemical compound, not an element. It is asked in the question also. How can you say or give reasons water is a compound, not an element? Water is a compound, not an element. Give reasons, like this question is asked. Okay, water is a compound, not an element. Why? What are the reasons we can give? Because we have to, like, if you want to give the reasons, you must recall all the properties of compounds. What are they? Number one, a compound is made up of those elements, like 2 or more than 2 elements, which combine together in a fixed ratio by mass. So here in water also we find that water is made up of 2 different elements which combine in the ratio of 1:2:1 in a fixed ratio by mass, that is mass is 1:8 ratio. So why water is a compound? Because the first point I said, it is made up of 2 different elements that combine together in a fixed ratio by mass. Number 2, the constituents of water, that is hydrogen and oxygen, they have different property than the property of water. Because hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is also a gas, but when we combine them in water molecule, it is a liquid. So the properties of the compound is different from the property of its constituents. So that is also satisfied here. The third point, if you want to separate hydrogen and oxygen, both the atoms you want to remove from water molecule, it cannot be done by any physical means. So you can do it only by chemical means. Okay. So first point I will say, it is homogeneous. Why water is a compound? Homogeneous means having uniform composition. The meaning of homogeneous is having uniform composition. Means the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is always fixed in all samples of water molecule. Number 2, hydrogen and oxygen always combines in a fixed proportion by weight, and the proportion is 1:8. Third point, the properties of water are different from that of hydrogen and oxygen. That is, hydrogen burns, oxygen is a supporter of burning, but water never burns. Okay, it extinguishes fire, of course. Then the fourth point, the components of hydrogen and oxygen can be separated by chemical means, not by physical means. That is electrolysis of acidified water. By physical means, it's not possible. Already I have said this point also. And during the formation of compound, heat is either evolved or released. So during formation of water also, heat is evolved when hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water. So all the 5 properties are satisfied. So whenever any question is asked, water is a compound, not an element, explain. So you have to write all those 5 points. Got it? Now next, water is a universal solvent. What is a solvent? Any substance that dissolves a solid in it is called a solvent. Like water is a solvent, milk is a solvent. Okay, similarly alcohol, any liquid substance in which a substance can or solid can dissolve is a solvent. So water has the property of dissolving many substances in it. You know that the gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide dissolve in water. Even the solids like different types of solid materials can dissolve in water. Even salt, sugar and many types of chemicals can dissolve in water. So water has the property to dissolve many substances in it. That's why it is called universal solvent. Like solids, like inorganic salts, and organic compound like sugar and urea and salt, they can dissolve in water. Number 2, liquids like alcohol and acids can also dissolve. Number 3, gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, ammonia, hydrogen chloride, sulfur dioxide. So following factors are responsible for this property of water, that is universal solvent. Why water shows universal solvent property? Number 1, water molecule is polar in nature. So what is the meaning of polar in nature? it has different types of that polarity. You have to understand the charges. Number 2, water molecule can form hydrogen bonds with the molecule of other compounds because water is made up of hydrogen bonds are present in that water molecule. And third, water molecules can enter in a chemical reaction with the molecules of other compounds. Like we find that water molecules take part in most of the chemical reactions because they can easily form bonds with the other molecules. And number 4, water has a high value of dielectric constant. So what is the meaning of that dielectric constant? Okay, that also you have to understand. So due to these unique properties associated with water, water is called a universal solvent. Okay. Now next we have the physical and states of water, natural and treated water. So what is normally water exists in the liquid state. Now when heated under normal pressure, that is 760 millimeter of mercury is the normal pressure, water will boil at 100 degrees C and rapidly it will change into steam. Steam means water vapor. Now when the steam condenses back to water, that is the water vapor will cool down and change into the water drops. The heat which is released, that heat is called latent heat of condensation. So what is the meaning of latent heat of condensation? The heat which is released when the water vapor condenses or cools to form the liquid water. It is equal to the latent heat of vaporization. And solid state of water is ice which remain below 0 degrees centigrade. Now what is natural water? Water which we obtain from natural resources like from rivers, lakes, pond, rain, they are called natural water. Natural water is not pure. Why? Because it contains different types of impurities, like they contain suspended particles like sand. They also contain different types of microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, germs, pathogens, and they also contain dissolved impurities like salts of potassium, sodium, gases like sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxides, etc. Then what is treated water? The water which is cleaned, from which all the impurities are removed, like due to the presence of impurities, natural water is not fit for drinking. To make it fit for drinking, we need to purify it by a technique to make it free from them. Such a water which is made potable, potable means fit for drinking, is called treated water. Treatment of water is done by different methods or techniques like sedimentation, decantation, sterilization, filtration, coagulation, and chemical treatment. Distilled water is a pure form of water and it is obtained by changing the water vapor into steam followed by condensation of that steam. Distilled water is mainly used in medicines and scientific laboratories. Now, have you wondered what provides the drinking water? What is how the taste comes in the drinking water, or what makes the drinking water tasty, the water which we use for drinking, potable water? The answer is the presence of dissolved substances like carbon dioxide and minerals in the drinking water make it tasty or suitable for drinking. Distilled water has no taste and it is not used for drinking also because it is already purified and all the gases have been removed from it. Okay, so next we have to study physical properties of water. Okay, next we have to study physical properties of water. What are those physical properties? Like color, then we have to study about the taste, we have to study about what is the physical properties like solubility and all. So first we will study about pure water is transparent, colorless, odorless and tasteless liquid. Means it has no color, it has no taste and it is transparent. Means we can see through it. It's so much clear. Number 2, boiling and freezing point. So first let's clear the definition of boiling point. Boiling point means whenever the word boiling and boiling point is there, try to differentiate between them. Boiling is the process of changing a liquid into its gaseous state. Boiling point is the temperature at which a liquid changes into gaseous state. So temperature is mentioned in the boiling point. So you know that the boiling point of water at normal atmospheric pressure of 760 millimeter mercury is 100 degrees C, that is 100 degrees centigrade, whereas the freezing point of water is 0 degrees C. Now we can change or alter this boiling point of water. Example, you can say in the cooker, when we cook food, it is done fast if you cook it inside the pressure cooker. What happens inside the pressure cooker? The boiling point of water is raised. So if the water temperature increases to more than 100 degree, means the food which is kept inside it will be cooked earlier. So that is the condition in pressure cooker. If asked what is the reason behind cooking of food earlier inside the pressure cooker as compared to cooking in the empty or open vessels, the answer is because inside the pressure cooker the pressure is raised, okay, because it has been closed, and once the pressure is changed, the boiling point of water is also increased, which helps to make or cook the food faster. So impurities which are dissolved in water lowers the freezing point. So freezing point of water, like this is also a condition that if we go in very cold places, like temperature remains below 0 degree, like in Leh Ladakh and other Kashmir valley, where the temperature goes below 0 degree and where the chances of freezing everything is there. So even the water inside the radiator of the cars can also freeze. In order to avoid freezing of those water inside the radiators, we can add some impurities like some salt or any other substance we can add. It will decrease the freezing point. It will lower the freezing point. And it also raises the boiling point of water. So if you add some impurities, the boiling point of water will go up and the freezing point will also decrease. Decrease means it will become less. Then increase of pressure also raises the boiling point of water. If the pressure increases, then also the boiling point will increase. So when pressure increases, it's directly proportional to the boiling point. P means pressure, BP means boiling point. This one means directly proportional. If pressure is increased, boiling point also increases. Then third one is, at higher pressure, the freezing point of water drops slightly below 0 degree. So if we increase the pressure very high, then the freezing point of water will go below 0 degree C. Now you know that pure water is a covalent compound. Two types of compounds are there, electrovalent and covalent compound. So it is a bad conductor of heat and electricity. It becomes good conductor if we add some electrolytes to it. Okay, electrolytes are the one which will carry the current from one place to the other. Then comes number D, density of water. Density of water is 0.997 gram per cubic centimeter at 4 degrees C. The temperature remains 4 degrees C. The density of water is this much. Means it's less than 1 gram per cubic centimeter. Density of water above and below the 4 degrees C is less than this value. Means above 4, at 4 degrees C or below 4 degrees C, the density of water will be either the density of water above and below 4 degrees C is less than this value, which is standard value. So it is said that at 4 degrees C, water has the maximum density. Maximum density of water is present at 4 degrees C. So if it becomes 3 degrees C or if it becomes 5 degrees C, then the density of water will also change. Okay. Now increase of pressure raises the boiling point of water, and this helps to get the food cooked easily and quickly inside a pressure cooker. Already I said that once we increase the pressure inside the pressure cooker, the boiling point of water is also raised, and that will help to cook the food faster. Okay. So next is, in the hills, water boils at temperature lower than 100 degrees C. Means why it takes lot of time to cook food in the hill area? Because there the pressure is low. So if the pressure is low, the boiling point of water also decreases. Like pressure is directly proportional to boiling point. So if there is less pressure, means less boiling point, means less than 100 degree, the water will start boiling, and that is the reason why food does not cook properly there. Therefore, pressure cookers are useful in the hills. Got it now? Now next we have anomalous expansion of water. Anomalous means water has an unusual property, means different type of property. When cooled, it first contract its volume. Like if you cool the water will contract and change into ice. At 4 degrees C, it reaches the maximum. It starts expanding at 4 degrees C and continue to do so till the temperature reaches 0 degrees C. Means from 4 to 0 degree, the water will keep on expanding. Okay? Reaches the point at which it freezes into ice. Now at 0 degrees C, ice will be formed because water will be converted into ice. At 4 degrees C, water has the maximum density and its minimum value, minimum volume. So property of anomalous expansion of water means this property of anomalous expansion of water at 4 degrees C helps the aquatic organisms to survive, like fishes and all. Why? Because if it is very cold, on the surface of river, lakes and ponds, the surface water will change or freeze into ice. So that will help to reduce the temperature being decreased in the lower levels of water. Okay? So property of anomalous expansion help the marine life to exist in the colder regions of the world, because even when the water freezes on the top of the lakes is frozen, but below that layer of thick ice, below that the liquid water will be there in which the living organisms will survive. Okay? So ice has a density of 0.92, so it is lighter and floats on water. So 0.92 is the density of ice, and water density you can see 0.99. It is more. Ice density is less, and that is the reason why ice floats on the surface of water. Water pipes in winter often burst. Like in very cold temperature, the water pipes can burst. Why? Because of anomalous expansion of water. At 4 degrees C, maximum density, and due to this reason, water in the pipes will freeze, and when they will freeze means they will change into ice. So they will apply pressure on the pipe, and the walls of the pipes will break. That will result in the breaking of pipes. Okay? Now next we have to do is a specific latent heat of fusion, a specific latent heat of vaporization. So in the next class we can continue with the same topic. So as homework, what you can do, you can write the definition, the physical properties of water, like boiling point, freezing point, as well as this question. Water is a compound, not an element. So give 5 reasons. This answer you can write. Next you write why water is called a universal solvent. Name the different materials that it can dissolve. And one more question add to it. What are the factors which are responsible for the water being an universal solvent? Explain those factors if you can get, like what is high dielectric constant and all. Okay, so watch this video, write your name in the comment section, and we'll continue in the next class. Thank you.